Hi guys, it's me, Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA. And right now it is 56.5 degrees overcast. That's what it says. Well, and it is, I see it. It's 8:21 Central Daylight Time on April the 14th, 2016. Can you believe that? I can't. 2016, yo. Blah, 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 blah. The high today is supposed to be 80, tomorrow 84, Saturday 77. Lows are 54, 60, and 64. How about that? Pretty nice, huh? But anyway, hey, I did a video about it used to be called the Confederate Air Force, but now it's called the Commemorative Air Force, and that just chaps my ass. Because we're going to be politically correct no matter what. If you go back, if you had to read a history book today and compare it with a history book you read in 1960, or I read in 1960, it'd be a totally different world. So it's going to be harder and harder to communicate with people because they're not going to know who the Confederate Air Force was because they only heard of the Commemorative Air Force Base, or Air Force, okay? So anyway, with that in mind, check out the video on the, I think it says CAF, Commemorative Air Force, airplanes. I think it says airplanes. But anyway, check it out. It's pretty interesting. I just happened to go by there yesterday looking for something to do. They have a museum in Burnet, Texas, which is 12 miles from where I live. So I drove by there and I was looking at some of the old planes they have outside and decided to go see if the museum was open. It wasn't, but me, being me, I went in anyway. Well, they had a side door that was open. One of the hangar doors was open. And so I just drifted in, and then the next thing you know, I met a guy that volunteered. All they have is volunteers, I found out. And pretty interesting stuff. It's just amazing that, World War II was, God, that was 1940 to 45. That's 55, 71 years ago. Whoa. Amazing, isn't it? Time flies. But yeah, I looked at all that stuff and it was designed for one thing, killing people. And that's what we do. So let's look at the news right quick. Another exciting day in my studio. Look at all my stuff. The dark side of the moon is kind of both eyes. Yo, I don't care. Okay, here we got Clinton and Sanders to debate. Whenever the politicians get up on a stage and they call it a debate, do they debate? No. Why do they even say that? I don't know. Amazon's newest and most expensive Kindle. I've got a Kindle. I've got the old version, about 6 years, 7 years old. And then I've got a touch screen that I bought because they had it on sale at Christmas for $49, and I got one because I thought the other one was going out. But anyway, I use my Kindle periodically, particularly when I travel because it's so easy to take and the battery lasts forever. And here's a damn story that just chaps me again. North Carolina can't buy Ringo Starr's love. Well, let me tell you why they can't. Because Ringo Starr is probably a faggy dog. And he doesn't like the LGBT law that was passed in North Carolina. Now, so the media made this what it is, okay? The media made this story. Why? Because it's a story that has legs. It's emotional, and they can drag it out forever. It will get their ratings up. Their subscriptions at newspapers will go up, and they don't care how aggravating it is, but that's the way it is. Trump takes on the GOP. What he's doing there is all these old rules related to primaries and who gets what delegates and how many. they've been out there for a long, long time. And Trump is just finding out how really shitty it is. You know what I mean? The good old boys are going to elect the president whether you like it or don't. Okay? Affluenza teen stays in jail for, the rest of the story is for at least 2 years. Maybe. No, money talks, baby. Money talks. Russian warplanes fly close to U.S. Navy. Well, let's look now. Think about the reality of that. These pilots in these supersonic jets are not 40-year-old, 50-year-old wise men. They're 20-year-old hotshots, okay? And they do crazy things because they are crazy people. And our pilots are just as guilty. In fact, in Italy one time, there was a canyon with a cable car going across, and our aircraft cut the cable. Doing a little, they were gonna buzz the thing. Well, they buzzed a little too close, and about 16 people were killed. Okay, here's one. Nearly 40,000 Verizon employees on strike. Well, when they say nearly 40,000, that means it could be 15, right? But it's a big number, there's no doubt. And what they're on strike about is totally legitimate. Verizon is just screwing them in the ground. You know, they want to pay them less. They want to outsource jobs. You know, the same old stuff that's been going on for 40, 50 years, maybe more, 60 years. And, you know, it's just, and you know, is it going to matter? No, not a bit. Verizon's going to do whatever shit they want to do. And if these employees don't like it, they can take a freaking hike. That's it. You know, unions don't mean shit anymore. You know, and they're just kind of coming to grips with it, so to speak. You know, Bernie Sanders was involved. You know, that's what he used to do back in the 60s and 70s. He was an old hippie type and, you know, got involved in all the war protests and stuff, and he still does. Will Smith shot 8 times. Suicide, obviously. I can't believe he committed suicide. Oh, I don't know what that one means. Will Marco Rubio endorse Ted Cruz? Boy, wouldn't that be a great endorsement? If I was Ted Cruz, I'd say no, 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 please don't. Here we go. Here's something that's never happened in the United States before. Listen to this one. Chicago protests after black teen shot. Can you imagine that? A black teen being shot in Chicago. My God, I'm going to fly up there today and break into a liquor store and get me some free booze. I mean, they would have protested if it was a heavy rain. It doesn't matter. Here we go. Now this guy is before a Senate committee. Okay, his name's Bono. I don't know what he does. Apparently, I don't know if he's a singer or what he is. His name Bono, B-O-N-O. Bono says we can defeat ISIS with comedy. First of all, let me say this. Why do we want to defeat ISIS? ISIS, I-S-I-S, means independent Syrian Iraqi state. They just want to be independent. We did that back in 1776, folks, if you remember that. We did that. We broke away from England and formed our own freaking country. But nobody else can do it. No, 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 no. We'll bomb the shit out of them. Why do we want to defeat them? Why are we at war with ISIS? You know, the deal is, we bomb them. They try to get at us any way they can. Blowing up airplanes, shooting some people in California, screwing up a marathon race. You know, that's all they can do. You know, what do you expect? They don't have a B-52 bomber. So that's enough on that. Okay. Let's go over here. You know, I actually enjoy doing these, and I don't know why. I just do. I mean, well, I guess one, I'm at home. I'm comfortable. It's warm, or cool, depending on what time of the year it is. Sanders and Clinton to debate in Brooklyn. Well, that's not going to be a debate. Trump campaign manager off the hook for battery off the hook. Can you see a campaign manager on a hook? No, I can't. Well, actually, if you saw what happened, I looked at it on YouTube a couple of times just out of curiosity because I don't have a hell of a lot to do. And what I saw was an over-aggressive reporter, which reporters can be aggressive. They have to be aggressive. It's their job to be aggressive. If they're not aggressive, the editors aren't going to like them, or the executive editor. They want somebody that gets in there and gets that story. If they have to kill somebody, or even if they have to make the story up, get the story. Get the story we want. And so anyway, that was really not a legitimate charge. In the first case, now the North Carolina governor wants to change parts of bias law. See, it's bias now. It's a bias law. You realize that the news media has always caused serious problems has always caused serious problems in the countries they're active in. The reason is, I read books by a guy named Balzac occasionally, and he talks about even back in the 1700s, the late 1700s, that reporters were just doing whatever the wealthy wanted them to do. If they wanted a story about this or that, they got it. And if they wanted a favorable report on a play, they got it. Has that changed? No, not a bit. Mark Zuckerberg, I wonder if he's Jewish. Zuckerberg, could be. Mark Zuckerberg takes on Trump. Does Trump get in his business? No. Does Trump give a damn about Facebook? No, other than it may help him get elected. But anyway, you know why it's called Facebook, don't you? Because Facebook, he came up with the name Facebook because they realized that people love to see their own freaking faces. Okay, I'm not really impressed with mine, I have to tell you. Can I get another one? Okay, what do we got now? Let's go down here. I didn't see any other stuff. Tech, there was a couple in tech. Well, that's the most expensive Kindle they've come out with. I've got a little bronchitis. But the good news is it's going away. It's going away. It just kind of came on, and hopefully in 2 days I can whip it. And the way I do it, plenty of water. I gargle with warm salt water, vitamin C, 500 milligrams twice a day for 2 days. 2 days, only 2 days, because vitamin C megadoses give you diarrhea, or can. And zinc. Yep, and that pretty well gives your body the equipment to destroy just about any virus. It does. It really does. Drink plenty of water, though. That's the main thing. Okay, 5 things Amazon's Alexa bot can do for you. Actually, I looked at that, and it can't do shit for me. Because if you don't have lighting in your house that's controlled by electronic devices, then that's one of the things it does. And it also controls the thermostat. And none of those are controlled by my smartphone. None. In an RV, I doubt it. Particularly this one. Okay, folks, so let's get out of this mess. And I'll put on some Pandora music right quick. My old Pandora. I'll put on my outside speakers. Okay, now for the great news. I say now for the good stuff. Anyway, I did a couple of different videos. One on the Llano River, one on commemorative Air Force. I'm going to call it Confederate Air Force. I can't do that commemorative shit. I just can't. For those of you who don't know anything about it, it's a nationwide operation. They have old World War II aircraft at military bases, or not military, but at air bases all over the U.S. Their biggest event is in Harlingen, Texas, once a year. I'm not sure what time of the year it is. I want to say August, maybe. They have one show in Burnet, Texas. It's at the Bluebonnet Festival. It's like the second weekend. It was just last weekend here. And you see those old warplanes flying around. A little bronchitis, no additional charge. Let's go up here. Let me go to here. We'll look at Google News right quick. I know this is the same old shit, but that's not. SOSDD. You know what the dog said when they cut his tail off? It won't be long now. See, you don't get this anywhere. You don't get those anywhere. Those are Robert De Niro defends anti-vaccine doc. You know, what he said was that some vaccines cause autism or can, and he might be right. I don't know. Here's one. This happened in my little town near me yesterday while I was in the area, probably. Burnet man attacks ex-girlfriend with vehicle. It's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, we got some loonies up here. They just aren't as many of them. See, I got a little cough. But it's breaking up. That's a good sign. When you gargle with warm salt water, it helps. Also, drink some hot tea with honey, and that helps. These are old, and then also you can take a hot shower, get it real hot, let it steam up, and breathe that steam real deep, and that helps. I know all the tricks, but I still got it. Shit. Okay. Not much going on here. Well, not much that we haven't already seen. So let's go to I'll find some jokes. Don't worry. We'll find them. Oh, Rusty knows everything. There's nothing. I feel like, remember, well, you probably don't, most of you. In fact, 90% of you won't remember the Johnny Carson show. Well, years ago, when I was much younger, I used to watch that at night because I would stay up past 10 o'clock every now and then, believe it or not. And I would watch Johnny Carson, and one of the things he had, or would do, a little skit he would do every now and then, was he would be Karnak, the Magnificent, and he'd put on this little turban hat around his head, and then he would hold up a letter to his head, an unopened envelope to his head, and he would somehow know what was in it, and then he'd open it. It was funny. It was the old sense of humor. See, I'm still got a little cough, but it's getting better, folks. Getting better. I'm human. Even with all this luxury. La 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 la. Here's one. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see where it goes. A man gets on a bus and ends up sitting next to a very attractive nun. Enamored with her, he asks if he can have sex with her. Naturally, she says no and gets off the bus. The man goes to the bus driver and asks him if he knows of a way for him to have sex with the nun. Well, says the bus driver, every night at 8 o'clock, she goes to the cemetery to pray. If you dress up as God, I'm sure you could convince her to have sex with you. The man decides to try it and dresses up in his best God costume. Now I like that. In his best God costume. At 8, he sees the nun and appears before her. Oh God, she exclaims, take me with you. The man tells the nun she must first have sex. The man tells the nun that she must first have sex with him to prove her loyalty. The nun says yes, but tells him she prefers anal sex. Before you know it, they're getting down to it, having nasty, grunty, loud sex. After it's over, the man pulls off his god disguise. Ha ha, he says, I'm the man from the bus. Ha ha, says the nun, removing her costume. I'm the bus driver. Goddamn sick shit. Sick. Crap. A drunk staggers into a Catholic church, enters a confessional booth, sits down, but says nothing. The priest coughs a few times to get his attention, but the drunk continues to sit there. Finally, the priest pounds 3 times on the wall. The drunk mumbles, ain't no use knocking. There's no paper on this side either. Ooh. Maria, a devout Catholic, got married and had 15 children. Now there's the story of the Catholic religion, folks, right there. That is a perfect Catholic. Okay, Maria, a devout Catholic, got married and had 15 children. After her first husband died, she married and had 15 more. Good God Almighty. A few weeks after her second husband died, Maria also passed away. At Maria's funeral, the priest looked skyward and said, at last, they're finally together. Her sister, sitting in the front row, said, excuse me, Father, but did you mean she and her first husband or she and her second husband? The priest replied, I mean her legs. Weak. One more quickie and then I'll shut it off. An old man goes to a church and is making a confession. Man, Father, I am 75 years old. I have been married for 50 years. All these years I have been faithful to my wife. But yesterday I was intimate with an 18-year-old. Father, when was the last time you made a confession? Man, I never have. I'm Jewish. Father, then why are you telling me all this? Man, I'm telling everybody. Oh. He was a little proud of that shit. Okay, very goddamn. Here's a short one. A husband and wife are in church. The preacher notices that the husband has fallen asleep and says to the wife, wake your husband up. The wife answers, you're the one who made him fall asleep. You wake him up. All right, guys, that's it. End of day. Remember what the dog said when they cut his tail off. Won't be long now. And that, what is it? Yabba dabba doo. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to go over to Lowe's now and walk inside the building because it's a little cool out there right now. It's about 58, 60 degrees and damp. And I don't need to be walking in there when it's damp. I don't. But I'll go inside the store and walk for about 25 minutes, and then I'll go to the grocery store and upload this video. So, but anyway, enjoy your day. Carpe diem. Thumbs up, if I can get up. Thumbs up to you guys. And bye.